Caption. On canvas. All right, so we're gonna do a different case today. I had planned for finding the missing party girl, but they took the image offline and I couldn't put it up fast enough. So in your lab, please download the most recent document. So we're gonna do a drug dealer case. And this was one of the Belkasoft's challenge. So let me share screen on this side real quick. Okay. So if you download the document, this is the document. This was a challenge that was provided by yeah, so disregard this part. Sorry, I didn't take the scenario out. This was provided by Belkasoft, and they have some of the trial version for forensic toolkit. So you don't need virtual machine for this. If you want to use a virtual machine, it is a little slow. We are going to use Autopsy because we don't have Belkasoft. So we're going to go ahead and click the link to access this. No, wrong link. Did I not upload the right link for you guys? Sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me change the link. I was trying to do. So that's their write-up. Let me re-upload it again, sorry. Control-V. See. I'll fix the document later, sorry. So our objective today is to answer those questions that are posted inside the document. You can find the Belkasoft case on their website as well. This was one of the challenge. So this is the link that you need to go, and I just put the document up, sorry. And then, so if we click this, we're gonna be able to download. So once you are on this link right here, you're gonna download the zip, and then you're gonna extract it. The password that's provided is this for the extraction. Oh, okay, so we're gonna download the image from their website. And then once you click that link, the party girl one. Let me close some of my screen. So we click here. And then you're just gonna go ahead and click save. So it's gonna come down as a zip file. Yeah, I tried to get the image from here, but they took it offline, so.
Because it says that it contains encrypted data, but it's not supported.
For what?
When they try to extract their sentences.
Okay, let's see right now. Hold on one second. Extract. Then we're gonna put in our password. Oh, not enough space on the disk. Let me make room on my computer. How are you doing? I'm gonna extract it too. My external hard drive. Paste our password. Make sure that you find the password on the document. You can extract it to the PC or the drive if you don't really need the drive for this one, but if you want to keep the drive for its file storage, you can.
File, how we extract it?
It should be the CFT image 7-zip that you download. So you should download Belka Day US CFT image.
Those two files that were in there, they were gonna send it on the Masons.
Yeah, don't explore inside it. You have to extract it on the outside. Like this is the one that you downloaded, right? So you can extract the whole folder. Okay. So yes, Brandon, once you extract it, you have a tar file. You have to extract that one too. Like, so when you extract it, you have a tar file on this one. Just like what we did in the last one, you have to extract this one too. So we have to extract it twice, right? Once we download the folder, we extract the folder, and then inside the content of the folder, you're gonna see the ASUS, AML, and a tar file. Remember when we dealt with the Enron case with the tar file, you have to extract it again, right? To get the image file. Because if they use a certain system to create the image, it is a compressed format. Yeah, it's giving me privilege held by the client. We'll see. So it should be able to give you the folder like this. And we might not be able to get everything, but that's okay, because that's typical in reality anyways. So again, right? When you click this link, you're gonna get a zip file or a 7-zip file into your downloads folder. You're gonna right click it and you would extract files. I couldn't extract it to the PC here because my C drive is extremely full. So I put it on my external hard drive. So once you extract it, you see these 2 files and it might ask you for the password. So I put the password there. And then what you're going to do is you are going to right click the tar file. So open up the extracted folder and find the tar file, and then you would extract that one. Okay. So once you extract it, it might show some information like this, that they do hold some privilege requirement, but you would get a folder, and inside it you would have what you see as image for, or your data source for the drug dealer smart device. Okay. So our objective today is to answer these questions. What's the full name of the owner, first and last name? What's the phone number that he reported to about drug delivery? What's where the delivery locations at the night of the arrest? How long is the suspect acting as a drug dealer? From what Bitcoin wallet is he getting paid for his job? What is the phone number of the drug supplier? And then what was the last time the suspect met with the supplier? And we need to find the timestamp for that. And then what is the supplier phone IMEI? So the identifier for the phone. And that's going to help additional investigation, right? So that's our purpose, is to answer those questions as much as we can. Okay, that's your goal. So we'll go ahead and open up Autopsy. Now, the write-up and the information provided from Belkasoft, it is to their software, so it's going to be a little different. So our objective is to get information. So next, after you open up Autopsy, just like last time, we're going to make a new case. And we're going to say that this is drug dealer case. Your base directory is going to be, you can make a folder if you want. I have it on my external hard drive, so I'm just going to keep it there. Actually, I'll put it on my desktop. No, because it's super full. So I'll put it on this, and I'm going to make a folder. So you can make a folder where your directory is going to be. And then we're going to go next. And this is our third case in Autopsy, so 003. And then for examiner, we're going to put our full name. And for notes, this is going to be examining drug dealer case. You can add additional notes if you want. We're going to go ahead and click finish. So once you created your project file, what we're going to do, so we need to be able to link this. So just like what we did last time, right? Generate your data source name, and then you can Go next. And this is actually logical files. So we're gonna go next. And then we're gonna click add. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my Belkasoft image or my data. Now it has two areas, so you probably have to add them separately. We're gonna select the data side and then the storage side. So as you know that most smart devices now would have the internal storage. That's your, Android or iOS. And then some, if it's Android or if it has an external storage, then it would have another section that you have to evaluate. So we'll go ahead and just add the data. We're gonna go next. I'm just gonna keep everything selected except for Plazo, just like last time, because we're not sure what's inside. And we're just gonna let it ingest for a little bit. So a lot of the clues are gonna come from the messages anyways. So what we want is so after this, we have to probably mount the storage folder, and you can do that too. So while it's doing that, you can actually, we're gonna go ahead and click add another data source. Oh, it's still ingesting, it won't let you. So you're gonna let it ingest, and then you are going to add the second data source, which is gonna be storage. You don't need the drive. You can run it directly on the computer, just like last week. Okay, so we want to find out the owner of the phone. That's our first task. And then potential contacts for drug dealing. So the messages are gonna give us some information and the timestamp for that. Possibly geolocation, and also message information is gonna tell us the location that they meet up. Okay. Okay, so once I extracted the files or the folders, I open up Autopsy, create my case name, make my folder for my case, add the data source, and you need to make sure that it is logical file, not image. Okay, so make sure we select logical, just like last week when we did the Android one. So by this time, we should know how to navigate this software. If you have questions, let me know. When you run your scan today, you don't need the run it straight with FTK, but you can use it on storage. Yeah, we would need the password. So as a scan, you can also kind of skim through. So I'm gonna start expanding to see any kind of information I would have, right? If you run it on the regular PC, it's gonna be a little bit more responsive compared to if you are running on the virtual machine. I left my computer locked on last Wednesday, and I left it over the weekend, and I forgot the Autopsy was still scanning. And I came back in on Monday at 2 p.m. to copy the VM for my Monday night class, and it was still scanning. It got to be like 3,000 something files by that point. So I know that I had finished the scan on my laptop, like when I tested the lab last year, and it was I think it was close to 7,000 objects. So And it took like a couple of days or a few days. So just keep in mind that you will not be able to finish the scan tonight. It is a very large data set. But our goal is to answer as many questions as we can today. Okay, to build out our report. Okay, so once you load the scan, you can start expanding and you can start exploring a little bit. It's gonna load some contact information, some email information, some phone number. So it's gonna give you, so this is an Android once again. Okay, but if you're interested in doing iOS, on the federal website for NIST, they have the forensic for iOS image, and you can download that to play with. Okay, so contact information. So with that, I would have some artifacts ID and some phone number. But I'm also interested in looking at the messages. Okay, so I see some payment information for Bitcoin. Yes. Just like what we did last time. Yes. This is the third time we use this, so we should know by now. Okay. Put that on next. And you need to create a path for your project folder, so make a new folder. If you already have that. Yeah. So you want your report to be in a separate folder, right? That's your output, so yeah, just make a folder for it. And say, report for regular cases.
We're adding the storage file.
Does it let me? Go ahead. Yeah, you can we don't know what's in there yet. Yeah. So hopefully it'll be able to add more to this, right? But if you guys look at the messages, it tells you when the payments were made. Possible information. There might be offensive language and other things in the messages, so just disclosure. Then when you, as Brandon was saying, you can also add. So on the second round, you can click add data source. And then we're gonna use the existing set. We're gonna add more to it. So logical files. We're gonna go ahead and add the storage. Go next. Keep everything except for puzzle. and then finish. So it's gonna pull the data from the storage as well and then add to your data sets here. I have the first name already. It has two sets of data, so load the data first and then the storage after. Okay, so make sure that we load the second data set, which is from storage. That's in your extracted folder. Let me see what kind of pictures they took.
A couple of surgeons, I would say, be careful.
So it looks like he takes picture every time that he got money. Right? So that should answer one of the questions. So if we sort it by created last. It's not very good at sorting these. Okay, so 417. Looks like there's an exchange of money on 416. Timestamp is there. That's the most recent sale, right? Yeah, so at 8:15:47. Yeah, so 8:15. So we have to convert that to UTC, right? That's because you have to report it out this way. But as for the supplier, did he pay the supplier there or did he sell? So the coordinates is this. Geolocation. So what state am I in? Phoenix. It says it on a few of the messages in call too. So I think checking out the messages and the pictures are gonna help you. I normally, so it looks like this person take picture of money exchange. Right? And then, so I sorted it with the most recent. And then I find a geolocation for that. So it will tell you the timestamp and where the drug deal, or it could be that he's paying the supplier. We don't know yet. Right? So on 416 at 8:15, or there's that 2015 in Phoenix, Arizona, that there was money exchange there. And then earlier that day. So that looks like a sale to me. What do you think? So there was like maybe 3 sales on the 16. That's probably the suspect. Selfie. So across between close by city anyways, Tempe and Mesa, Gilbert and Chandler. Anybody got his full name already? Look at the messages and you can see. Yeah. Probably Arnold.
I saw that, but I just didn't.
Well, we can, that is one assumption, right?
Right.
We have to find some information. Maybe some registration information or. There's no deleted files, contacts. So here's the boss, and he's using WhatsApp, right? To communicate with the boss. But I don't think it's Arnie, because I wouldn't message myself as Arnie. You know what I mean?
True. I can see that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't message myself. So we have to take the first perspective from the device view. So I wouldn't create my own contact unless, that's something that he did, but I don't.
On my, well, I don't know if I never created my own content, but I think on some of them it does.
Okay. It's possible. So that's one assumption, that he might be Arnie. So this is Bitcoin information right here. That's there. So it looks like he has to send a pic for all the sales that he makes, because it looks in the message, it tells you there are not enough pics, and then he didn't take one. And then there's also payments. So we would assume that the supplier is paid. The most recent pay to the supplier is going to be the most recent exchange, right? Wouldn't you think? I mean, I would get the goods and then I would pay the supplier. So March 18th is the earlier one. So this is going from, okay. There's another payment on April 15th. Yeah, that looks like the latest date. You can also try to do keyword search. It's gonna look at the index. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's good. Good job, Brandon. These challenges, usually they give you a day or so, or two to complete, and then you post your solution. Yeah, once you go through all the images, you tend to find a lot more information too, so. Yeah, there's a lot of search for knee clinics, so definitely medical information is going to be helpful. Fix list. Knee pain search. A lot of racy search. Yeah, uploading images. There's also Google Map information, so that's gonna help us too. Any question? What are you doing? You load both data and you can storage. Why don't you extend it and see what's different? Something like mine. Like email and web and things like that. Did you extract it again? Let me see your file. Yeah. So which one did you say, did you source it? When you set up the source? That's not one. Yeah. You need to load the data and the storage. So do the data first and then the storage. So reopen your app, close it, and reopen it. No, there's a reason why we extract, right? We extract this to get this and this to get this. But where's your extracted folder? What? Did you copy it? Yeah, so when you extract this, you get these two, and if you take this and extract all the ones. But it should give you a regular folder. Maybe try extracting. You don't need that. You can use a lab without it. Yeah. Select our file. No, so wait, cancel, right click. No, extract file. So, yeah, so I think if you do extract here, the folder, right? So your folders are already extracted, extract it again. I think when you load your data source, it didn't work right when you load the tar, which is a good test line. You have to load the unextracted. So open up your app. Your Autopsy. Open recent pages. Give it a name and then put the folder in there and then link it to your data folder, the one extracted, not the chart. So format for you set up your folder, okay. And next. Wait, there'll be port, your output. No, So you want the report to be in, it says base directory is where the reports can, where you want the report to be. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, so just make a new folder for the file. And you're gonna use watchful one. Up here is going to the left. Watchful one. That's like one. That. The data one first. Not the added. Give it a little bit of time. You have to let it invest for a little bit before you add. No, go to data. So, no, just click add. Go to data. You need to remove the other one. Click this. Let's clear it. Do it again. Does it make sense that we extracted the folder to get those folders and you have to load those folders? The data. Yeah. What next? Things select because we don't know where that is except for Paso. Okay. And let it ingest so we're finished. And then wait about 5-10 minutes and then you will do. So you have to do an existing post already, right? When you add the data source, this post is now already exists. So you're gonna need to add it as an existing post and then add the storage. Okay. And it will load as an entire device. Okay.